We've got a bit of a tale of two cities going on in the nation's capital right now. Two MPs from competing parties, both saying things that could be described as dumb, and both on issues of race and culture. I'm going to take you through what each of the MPs said first, and then I'll show you how they're being treated so differently by the media establishment in Ottawa, who have one thing on their agenda, and that's electing Justin Trudeau, who, by the way, happens to be one of the MPs involved in what would be these dumb comments. But first, Conservative MP John Williamson. He made some off-the-cuff remarks at an event in Ottawa. He was speaking at the Manning Centre and started talking about the temporary foreign workers program and what he saw as a problem in the area that he represents, New Brunswick.
I'm going to put this in terms of color, but it's not meant to be about race. It makes no sense to pay whitey to stay home while we bring in brown people to work in these jobs.
I'm not going to defend Williamson's comments. Pretty dumb. He admits he shouldn't have said them. He's apologized. But Trudeau, on the other hand, made his comments as part of a prepared speech, likely written for him by Gerald Butts, his top advisor. And he made the comments in Toronto on Monday, comparing the attempt to say you can't wear the niqab at the citizenship ceremony to sending Jews back to Nazi Germany or Nazi-controlled Europe at the time, back in 1939. Here's Trudeau on Monday.
So we should all shudder to hear the same rhetoric that led to a none is too many immigration policy toward Jews in the 30s and 40s being used to raise fears against Muslims today. We all know what is going on here. It is nothing less than an attempt to play on people's fears and foster prejudice directly toward the Muslim faith. It is the spirit of the St. Louis. It is the spirit of none is too many.
Trudeau has not apologized for his comments. In fact, he and his staff have defended what he had to say on Monday night in Toronto. They keep calling for Williamson to be thrown out of the Conservative caucus, though. That keeps coming up in the House of Commons.
Does this mean the Prime Minister tacitly condones these racist remarks, or will he finally act and remove this member from his caucus?
The honourable member has done the right thing in apologizing. Now there's an opportunity for the Liberal leader to stand in the House and apologize.
Is the Prime Minister so deeply mired in his Reform Party roots that he's totally unable to promote an inclusive Canada, or will he expel that member from his caucus?
Trudeau was not even asked about this in English on Tuesday when he showed up for scrums after question period. He was asked about it a bit on Wednesday after his weekly caucus meeting, but for the most part, he's getting a pass. And that's just not me saying it. Let's take a look at the stats. A search of Infomart earlier today, this is the database of all Canadian media outlets, showed 122 stories at the time about Williamson and his comments versus 56 about Trudeau. Now, both are getting negative coverage when the story's mentioned. That's one of the things Infomart does. Was the story a positive story, a neutral, or a negative? Both. Overwhelmingly negative coverage of this. But Williamson is a backbench Conservative MP. He's not in cabinet. He's not likely to be in cabinet in the foreseeable future. Justin Trudeau is the presumed next Prime Minister of Canada. The next Prime Minister of all the Canadas, the leader of the Liberal Party, the ascendant Liberal Party. Don't you think that he and his views might warrant a bit more attention than the views of a backbench MP? I would say so, and I would say that Justin Trudeau, as a political leader, a party leader, should be called to account more than any backbench MP in any party. But he's getting a pass once again. Just when you thought that maybe the media party was cluing into who Trudeau is, to the fact that he does say these things without thinking them through properly, that they were starting to hold him to account, just when you thought that was happening, this happens. They backpedal, and they start giving their man a free pass. Justin Trudeau's comments were repugnant, and they're not based in fact. They're not based in his arguments about religious freedom. They're not based in the facts of our immigration numbers. He should apologize for them. But one thing I can tell you for sure, because I don't think he will apologize, but I can tell you for sure, they're just another example of why this man is not fit to be Canada's Prime Minister.
Canada.